What is a budget? Why is it important? And what is its genesis? In the simplest terms, a budget, or national budget in this case, can be defined as the government's plan for income and expenditures for the coming year. The main purpose of a budget is to ensure that the unlimited needs of a country and her people are prioritized in order of importance and according to the limited resources available. The genesis of a national or county budget begins at the campaign stage. Yes, every time your favorite politician is making campaign promises, they are basically telling you what they will be spending public funds on. It is the president's campaign manifesto that turns into their delivery or strategic paper, on which most, if not all, government planning and spending is hinged. At the county level, the governor's manifesto is what becomes his leadership and development blueprint. If they win, that manifesto is converted into what is called the County Integrated Development Plan, CIDP. This is basically your county's 5-year strategic plan. By now, you must know that it is the 5-year CIDP that is broken down into 5 parts called the Annual Development Plan, ADP, which is basically your county's annual work plan. In a nutshell, your gubernatorial candidate has a manifesto. If they win, it is turned into a CIDP 5-year strategic plan, which is further broken down into 5 annual ADPs, which determine how your county budgets for and spends public funds. In June of every year, the Cabinet Secretary for Treasury and National Planning tables a budget in Parliament for the next financial year. But what does the budget-making process really look like? Who even does all that work? And how long does it take? Who are the different players in the process? And do the taxpayers have a say in the process? How can the youth take part in this process? Come with me. The first stage of the budget-making process is planning and formulation. This stage takes 9 months, starting on the 30th of August and running through to the 30th of April, and is hinged on 4 key documents, which are the macroeconomic fiscal framework and debt strategy papers, the division of revenue bill, the county allocation revenue bill, and the budget review and outlook paper. The main actors in this stage are the executive, that is the Treasury and other government ministries, departments and agencies, the National Assembly Budget and Appropriation Committee and departmental committees, the Senate Finance and Budget Committee, the Commission on Revenue Allocation, and the public. How can you be involved at this stage? The Constitution of Kenya 2010 demands for public participation for such processes. It is now your responsibility to show up and speak during these public participation forums. Invites to public participation forums are usually publicized in local dailies by both national and county assemblies. Having looked at the formulation stage and understood who is involved, it is time to find out what happens next. And this brings us to the second stage. The second stage is the allocation or approval stage, which takes place from 1st of May to 30th of June. This process is carried out on the basis of 2 crucial documents, the budget proposal and the finance bill. Major actors at this stage are the National Assembly Budget and Appropriation Committee, the departmental committees, Parliamentary Budget Office, the 47 county assemblies, and the public. It is at this stage that the annual estimates of revenues and expenditures as made by the respective governments become legal acts after discussion at the respective assemblies. You can take part in this process by keenly looking at the appropriation bills, also known as the approved budgets and the finance acts for your county. This will help you know what to expect and be equipped on how to hold your duty bearers accountable. It is important to mention here that allocation of this revenue is usually based on a revenue sharing formula. What is a revenue sharing formula and how is it arrived at? The revenue sharing formula is a scientific method used to determine how much money from the national government goes to what counties. It is this formula that determines, for instance, why Kiambu County was allocated 12.46 billion shillings while Wajir County got 10 billion shillings. It is the Commission on Revenue Allocation, CRA, that is charged with a constitutional mandate to prepare recommendations on how to divide the national cake every 5 years. While the first and second generation formula had the parameters of population, basic equal share, poverty, land area, and fiscal effort, the second generation formula had an additional parameter of development, factored at 1%. The third generation revenue sharing formula aims to share resources based on devolved functions and key services. As such, it has parameters such as health, urban services, agriculture, basic share, and other county services. This formula is also aimed at promoting balanced development, hence also considers land area, roads, poverty levels over and above fiscal effort and fiscal prudence. With the budget policy statement adopted by the National Assembly and the county fiscal strategy paper adopted by the 47 county assemblies, wouldn't it be interesting to know what happens during the budget implementation? Well, that's where the next stage comes into play. The third stage is oversight, and it is done by the National Assembly committees, the County Assemblies committees, and the Controller of Budgets. Oversight is carried out over a period of 12 months, running from 1st July in the current year through to 30th June the following year, and is premised on two key documents: the Budget Implementation Reports and the Budget Review Outlook paper. When did you last visit your county website? Did you know that it is an essential tool for your participation in this process? Your role here is to regularly check for quarterly budget implementation reports via your county government's website. These reports can be found under Resources or Downloads. The year has come to an end. Did the national and county governments live within their means? Did they abide by the set budget and finance policies? Were there any expenditure overreaches? Maybe yes, maybe no. There is only one way to find out, which is the fourth stage. The fourth and final stage in this year-long process is auditing and evaluation, which is done by the National Assembly, the Public Accounts Committee, the Public Investments Committee, the Special Funds Accounts Committee, and the Auditor General. This 6-month process, which runs from 1st of July to 31st December, is done on the basis of audit reports for the respective governments. This being the last stage of the process, you have a very central role to play here. As a responsible citizen, it is your duty to track the Auditor General's audit report and confirm whether or not the national or your county government spent taxpayers' money appropriately. There you have it, the end-to-end budget-making process. With this knowledge, now go out there, spread the word, and get your peers involved.